I was visiting my grandma and grandpa to celebrate a bunch of summer birthdays together. But when I pulled up to their house, I saw something strange. The lot to the right of their house was completely empty. No stones, no foundation, no garbage. Just slightly overgrown grass. Grass, where there used to be a house. After the hellos were said, I had to know what happened. I asked my grandparents, and oh boy, I was not ready for the wild tale they spun. A couple of years ago, my grandparents had the neighbors from hell. Loud at all hours, trash everywhere, arguing with everyone. Just absolute nuisances. It was a husband, wife, and their adult son who popped in and out. The wife would argue about anything, and the husband would intimidate anyone who stood up to them. The son had a record, having been in and out of county jail. Their house mirrored them, sagging, dilapidated, with peeling paint. And the landlord, a total slumlord. More on him later. Things came to a head one night when my grandparents came home to find their back door smashed in and my grandpa's precious guitars missing. Grandpa's been playing his whole life, so those guitars were priceless to him. And expensive. They went to the police, who discovered the son had pawned the guitars. They couldn't get them back, but insurance, who knew guitars had insurance, compensated my grandparents. Since the guitars were valuable, the theft was a felony, and the son landed back in jail. The neighbors didn't take this well. They harassed my grandparents through the fence and on their porch, making it hard for them to even sit outside. They hurled insults, threw trash, and the husband still tried to get physical. Now Grandpa is chill, but Grandma, she takes crap from no one. So what did she do? She got the house condemned. It was almost too easy. She called local authorities, who inspected the house and deemed it unfit for living. The rude neighbors had to move out. They ended up in a hotel, courtesy of the slumlord, while the house was supposed to be fixed. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Enter the slumlord. Furious, he showed up yelling at my grandparents, blaming them for his problems, threatening lawsuits. It got so bad the neighbors called the police to calm him down. Weeks passed with no progress on the house. Grandma, not one to let things go, made frequent calls to various services, reporting the lack of action. Every time, the slumlord's truck would appear for a day, then vanish without doing anything. Finally, Grandma's persistence paid off. The house was condemned for demolition. This had two major outcomes. First, the rude neighbors were essentially homeless once the slumlord couldn't pay for their hotel anymore. Second, the slumlord faced hefty fines and eventually a warrant for his arrest for refusing to show up in court. A few months ago, demolition teams came and tore the house down, leaving the lot perfectly bare. They even removed the driveway, so now it just looks like an extension of the side yard. My grandparents aren't sure what happened to the neighbors or the slumlord, but Grandma looked very pleased with herself as she finished the story.